Austin, so good to see you. I'm glad you have time to chat because I came across this really interesting article about inheritances. So let's talk through how to make sure your inheritance doesn't disappear because check this out. 42% of heirs see their net worth fall back to or below pre-inheritance levels within just 1 year. The average inheritance studied in this data was $133,000 gone in 1 year. What do you think is driving this behavior?
Yeah, that's really unfortunate to hear, Aaron. But frankly, I don't think very surprising. Number
Mhm.
one, I would say is it's newfound money, right? That's the reality is that we don't have that attachment of it's kind of we had to work for it, we had to strive for it, and
Yeah.
two, I think the reality is many folks just simply don't have a plan when they inherit any kind of money, let alone a large sum of money, right?
Mhm.
There's no planning around kind of how to think through this decision, what's best for me, what's best for the family. So I think those two things combined, unfortunately, lead us to this outcome more often than not.
Right. And this study suggests that the pattern is more extreme than with other financial windfalls, like winning the lottery. Why are inheritances specifically different?
Yeah, and I think we all know the statistics, right, on winning the lottery. They're not pretty either. But
No.
I think one really distinct difference, right, between something like lottery winnings and an inheritance, right, is we just have such an emotional tie, right? Many times when we get an inheritance, we lost someone very close to us, right? This is a
Yeah.
very emotionally charged time. We're still grieving. We're trying to process a lot, right? We're not really in a great position to make sound financial decisions. And I think that is why, right, many times it just ends up in this kind of bad predicament.
Hmm. And Austin, you've been doing this for a while. So, what mistakes do you see families making when it comes to passing down wealth?
Yeah, I think all too often, again, just not really having that plan in place. And more importantly, I would say than not having the plan in place is just not having the conversation, right? You
Yeah.
need to have the
Right.
conversation and educate the next generation of kind of your wants, your wishes, your desires, right? Help them think through kind of what is important to you and your wish once you're not here. And then kind of after that really comes the structure of how do we actually implement this.
Okay. So, let's talk that through then. What strategies can help ensure an inheritance actually lasts?
Yeah, I think the number one rule we always kind of say when we're talking anything estate planning, right, is just think of it as these are the types of documents that help the next generation, right, carry out kind of your wishes, right?
Right.
You're not leaving it up to chance, you're not leaving it up to interpretation, right? Whether it's healthcare powers of attorney, whether it's financial powers of attorney, whether it's avoiding the lengthy and costly process of probate court, right? We want to ensure assets are titled properly, funded into trusts if we have them. All of these things, right, help make number one the process go much smoother, right, at a time for your loved ones when it's probably one of the worst times of their lives, right? Again, they're not really at the point where they have the emotional capacity to make sound financial decisions around these things. So let's make it ahead of time. Let's have the discussions ahead of time because really at the end of the day, when you're gone, all you want, many folks, right, is for it to be easy, seamless, and as smooth as
Right.
possible because it is
Right.
such a difficult time.
Yeah, we all want the same outcome. I mean, it makes sense that people kind of put it off. It sounds like it's going to be uncomfortable. But
Mhm.
as you point out, sometimes just coming into an office with a professional like you, having both generations sit at the same table and just making sure everybody's on the same page, you leave feeling so much better. On that note, Austin, if somebody would like to sit down with you and have this conversation, get the ball rolling, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, you can give us a call at 919-322-4113 or send us an email at info@patriotwealthnc.com.
Great. Austin, thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.